Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Saj, my kid's 42nd favorite YouTuber. I've dropped on the list a little bit because I've been MIA lately, and that's the fun of COVID and working 7 days a week, so I thought I would go through and take a couple minutes here to go through and show you some updates in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So, Mandalorian content, and so I am gonna go all in on Mando. I have rewatched the series multiple times. I enjoy his character so much. They did such a good job with this show that it just makes it so good, and I won't lie, I'm just waiting for Baby Yoda to show up. But I do want to go through the show a little bit of Galactic War, just because right now with him only being 4 stars, he's not really going to be an arena team or really using anything currently, but I do have him up to 4 stars, and then also to, I believe he's gear 8, and so I'm kind of working on him a little bit. Got all of his moves all the way up to where he needs to be. Man, his gun, his incendiary? Well, what do you want to even call this? Like, you know, that crazy gun just disintegrates everyone, so really cool. I was able to show that a couple times in here. The bounty hunter team, it's unique a little bit because Mando is going to be light side bounty hunter and the rest are going to be dark side, but still, I really enjoy it. You know, going through and having him as a lead. He also works for Scoundrels as well, so you know that's been kind of nice to kind of see the differences there, because looking at the other 2 characters that came with the pack, you know, one is a rebel and the other one is a bounty hunter. Even though, you know, the other one actually looks like it's going to be a dark side bounty hunter, but still really going to be interesting to kind of get all of them in the group. I really do think that, you know, with Kara, you know, and him, I think it's going to be a pretty cool group. Oh, bam! Look at that. So just was able to go through and actually get disintegration. I really think watching some people online use him, it's going to be pretty interesting to kind of see against some top tier people. Imagine if you're going through and you're having trouble with a Darth Revan or a Malik, and all of a sudden he's able to disintegrate. I mean, that is really, really cool. And so Darth Nihilus is a cool character as well. I just think that I'm really going to go all in on him. So, like I said, Mando. Currently, I think the really cool thing for him, he acts a lot like Boba and a lot like Jango, and I really do think that's pretty cool. So he has, like I said, his leader abilities is pretty good, but you know, I think in the end, I think after you watch a little bit more in this video, I do think Bossk is a little bit better of a lead. But you know, it's one of those things where I'm going to play around a little bit. Bossk is so far down the road for me to be 7 stars, and obviously so is Mando, but I think Mando is going to be gear 11 at some point, and with him, I'm going to have him ready to go. Oh, there went Darth Vader, another disintegration. So, as you can see, I mean, he's still a little bit squishy. This is Galactic War, so in the first tier. So for him to have a difficult time, you know, I knew right then I had to kind of switch out to see if having him as a secondary was going to do well, but it's still really cool. Other things on that I'm doing currently right now, Padme now is 7 stars. She's actually has 2 Zetas currently. The team itself for Arena is doing really well. Went through and added R2-D2. I got a little bit of video in here today that as well, just to kind of see what they're doing. And Padme, man, she is now my 2nd strongest character. Having 2 Zeta is a huge thing for her. Having a little bit of extra protection is really cool. So also too, now every single person in my arena team is actually going to be, you know, gold, which is kind of nice, getting them up to 12. And so Yoda, Ahsoka, good old R2, and then Padme, and then Anakin now is going to be number 5 for Relic, so that's really cool. Currently working right now on our Jedi training Rey, and so I worked a really long time to go through to get Padme up to 7 stars. Now I've been working on First Order because it takes First Order to unlock the BB-8. So First Order, how they stand right now, Unmasked Kylo Ren is going to be at 7 stars. He's actually going to be gear 11 already, so I'm pretty happy about that. Regular Kylo is going to be at 6 stars, but he's almost 210. He's in Cantina, so every day I've been grinding that like crazy. Phasma and First Order Officer, both of them are going to be in the collective store, so they were actually done a lot earlier. First Order Executioner. This is one I've been pretty surprised about. And so he has one of his abilities he's able to go through called Total Order. And what he does is every time that he gets a critical hit, he stacks max health, and it's like 10%. And so what I'm finding is that he actually, as time goes on, he goes through and actually does a really good job for me. And then he starts to be one of the last characters to die if it's going to be that case. But so of those 5... like I said, I mean, I'm getting pretty close. I mean, Kylo's at 78 out of 100, so we're talking probably, I mean, if I'm lucky, probably here Monday or Tuesday to get him done at the latest. And then First Order Executioner, he's actually going to be an 8 node there, so that's really not too bad in Cantina. So I think he's going to be relatively pretty quick. And so, in the meantime, I'm also working on Stick Ray. She's going to be at 40 out of 100 to get her to 7 stars. The rest are going to be relatively pretty easy. So BB-8 with him being basically First Order. So as soon as I get done with that event, he's going to be 7. Then Finn, right now, he's going to be 5. Old Man Han and Old Man Chewie, both of them are going to be right now at 5 as well. So I got a little bit of time. I did go through and work on both of those to gear them up a little bit more. Also, too, I realized that now that they've actually had this rework, it's really going to work for my advantage, because both of them have something to where I think his is called Swindle for Han, and so he stacks 25% counter chance in each turn. And then Chewie, he goes through and says, let the resistance rapport. He has 25% chance plus 50% heal, but then he also gets stacking 20% damage as he takes damage. And so I'm really thinking that as time goes on, I might be able to go through and use them. So on the video wise, you saw a little bit of my arena team minus R2D2 because Mr. Mace was still in that one. I also worked on my clone troopers. They're getting a little bit more viable as well. Getting done with ARC Trooper really helped. He didn't do as much as I thought he would when it came to the raids, but so far it's been pretty good. So Han right now, as you can see that on the screen here in a sec, is gonna actually be still 6 stars. He's almost to 7. We have another raid tonight, which I'm pretty excited about, just because, you know, if I can get him up. I've been getting first place most of the time. Tonight, like I said, at this point, I only need probably 3 more of those. So if that's the case, then I'm probably going to be a little bit selfish and get first place intentionally for those next 3. So, Jedi Training Rey. Really excited for that. I've been saving up. I'm going to start saving up my Zetas. With the logon as going to be Darth Treya, and I think at the end of the month you get 5 Zeta mats. So I'm thinking by the end of the month I'll have enough to at least do 1. I don't think that I'm going to end up getting Rey here this month. We'll see. I mean, I think it'd be really nice. Depends on how many crystals they continue to give us. Seems like every day I'm getting a little bit more. So, hey, you know, I mean, we'll see what happens. But I have a lot of Cantina work to still do. But it's been enjoyable. We're getting there. So when it comes to, you know, down the line, what I'm trying to do, really after I get Rey, I'm going to get her Zetas, get her up to where she needs to be, just because I want to do well in the Sith raids, and it seems like she's going to be a big component to that. So she's going to go through, I'm going to Zeta, she has 3 Zetas, so I'm going to Zeta her up, get her up to probably my next relic person should be her, but it might end up being Mando if it depends on how long it takes them to actually get them in some type of node, and also to what node it is. I would love for him to be in something to where I can grind it out relatively pretty quick, because I won't lie, I spent a little bit of money on him. 20 bucks to me is worth it, because if that saves me 6 months to be able to go through to get him where he needs to be, I think it's worth it. So I didn't plan on talking about him through this whole thing, but I'm telling you, I watched another episode this morning, and man, it's been enjoyable. I've been home for the last few days, and you know, it gives me an opportunity to watch that, but also too, it's great for Galaxy of Heroes, because it means that I'm just sitting there staring at that 20-buck pack, and unfortunately it didn't make it through the night. So so going through, like I said, I think Rey's gonna be, you know, my main goal, just because she's the next big meta that I think I'll be able to go through to do. Here is my current, so on the screen right now, and or coming up is gonna actually be my my resistance team. You know, really, they're really squishy. I mean, Rey doesn't even have mods right now, so I think that's why she's so rough. Really though, BB-8 did a pretty good job staying in there. Finn, I just got to get him faster, I think, looking at kind of where he's at. He needs to be able to get some of his stacking abilities on there. That's one thing I did watch him a few times. He really does do a really good job. As he builds up and he gets stronger, then all of a sudden he has that nuke ability, which is cool. Both Chewie and Han, I do have them modded all the way up to where I kind of want them to be. Just because I was really bored yesterday morning and didn't have much to do between this and Disney, so I started to spend probably about $2 million, million credits on there. So, but I think they're in a pretty good spot. So for my last person, you know, I think for me, looking at who do I want to go for and who am I grinding, who am I looking to accomplish, I'm not going to say the Supreme Leaders or just Rey, because that just isn't going to happen. I've been slowly working on C3PO. You know, my killer pandas really aren't where they need to be. Still working on Anakin's Starship. I'd really love to work on Shakti. I think that would be awesome to have her in the clones. But it just, you know, I don't even have that node unlocked because my teams just can't beat that. I need to just try again. We'll see what happens. I did end up getting both of the Phoenix ships up to 7 stars. Also, too, Cassian's ship is going to be 7. I just don't think that they're going to be strong enough. Mace is not up to 7 stars. Yeah, I really don't see his event happen very often, which is kind of unique. But like I said, when it comes to Mandalorian, I just think I'm going to be dumb here, and I'm going to start working on them. I think looking at what should I do, what should I focus on, it's really about just having fun, and I think that's why I think that it's just gonna happen. I'd love to get Kenobi still. He's at 99 out of 145, so I'm still a few days away from that. So if Kenobi unlocks soon, then it's going to end up being him. But still, I think Kara and Grief, both of them are going to be up there at 85, as high as I can go, getting them up to at least gear 11, just because it's just what I want to do, and we'll have fun with it. So I appreciate everyone taking the time and watching the video, and I know it's been a couple days. I'm glad to be able to be back on here. I'm going to do a Disney one as well, just to show where I'm at with that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do 2 videos a week, if I'm, you know, that good enough. I'm not that great you know, YouTuber, that's why this is below average. But as you can see right there with my arena team, I'm pretty happy. I'm consistently in the 60s, and I probably have some time. So hey, I really appreciate it, you guys. Everybody have a great one. Hopefully everyone's being safe. We will talk to you later. Peace.